What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Ty's Rides. This video is for all of those hardcore mountain bikers out there. You know who I'm talking about, the guys who only ride single track. They're like, hey, I'm not gonna ride road, I'm not gonna ride gravel, I strictly mountain bike. That's all fine and good, I respect it. But the problem with that is if you live in an area similar to the area I live in Kansas City, when the trails are wet, you cannot ride them. When the trails are closed, you gotta keep your fitness level up. So I think a gravel bike is a great way to do that. Right now, I've got 5 mountain bike companies who are making some pretty sweet gravel bikes. So let's get into it. The first company on the list is Santa Cruz Bicycles. Santa Cruz was founded in 1993 by Rob Roskop, Mike Marquez, and Rich Novak. Roskop had spent many years as a pro skateboarder, and Novak's Santa Cruz Skateboard Company had actually put out a special edition Roskop board before the two even knew each other. Eventually the two would partner up with bike engineer Mike Marquez, who had experience in bike suspension, and Santa Cruz Bikes was born. Santa Cruz actually released their first bike in 1994. This was a full suspension bike and they called this thing the Tasman. Since then, Santa Cruz has become one of the premier mountain bike brands and offers several different models of mountain bikes. The company has one gravel bike in their lineup, and I think I'm pronouncing this right. It's called the Stigmata. As you would expect from a mountain bike company, this bike has a lot of mountain bike standards infused into it. Now, while this is technically a cyclocross and gravel bike, it actually is raced in some really big time premier cyclocross races. It's capable of running 650B or 700C wheels. The bike is offered in 2 colors as well as several different build options. The next company on this list is Evil Bikes. Evil Bikes was started by a handful of guys, including a dude by the name of Kevin Walsh. Before Evil Bikes became the company it is today, it had its struggles for sure. The Evil Revolt was the first bike they ever made, and it was a bike that everyone wanted when it was introduced. The problem was, when the manufacturer started to ship the frames, a lot of them were cracked, they had misaligned dropouts. Pretty soon, Evil got a reputation for frames that would either arrive cracked or get cracked while riding. By this time, basically all the other partners at Evil Bikes had went separate directions, and Walsh was the lone man standing. Now, he didn't give up just yet. The next bike that he released was called the Undead. And like the Revolt, this bike had similar problems, frames arriving cracked or frames easily being cracked while being ridden. So the Undead could have really led to the death of Evil Bikes, but Walsh, a persistent guy, he kept going, he kept trying, he kept persevering, and he introduced a 29er called the Following. And if you've heard anything about the Following, it's become one of their most popular bikes, really one of the most popular 29ers there is, and it got rave reviews. Currently, Evil still makes a handful of other incredible mountain bikes, but they've actually got one gravel bike in their lineup, and this is, check this name out, the Chamois Hagar. This bike is hands down the most interesting looking gravel bike on this list, and honestly, it kind of just looks like a mountain bike with drop bars. Most bike companies start with a road bike and then relax things to make the bike manageable on gravel. Well, Evil basically started with a mountain bike and then made it more gravel-ish. The bike has a 66.67 degree head tube angle and a 50mm stem, and it also comes with a dropper post. While this is technically a gravel bike, it was definitely designed for shredding more than just gravel roads. The Chamois Hagar is only available in black and has 2 different build options. The next company on the list, Pivot Cycles, founded in 2007 by Chris Kokolis in Phoenix, Arizona. From the beginning of founding Pivot, he basically infused the brand with an identity around technical innovation and high performance. His first bikes were developed around the then new DW Link suspension platform, which set the bar for efficient and smooth performance. While Pivot is known for its incredibly smooth mountain bikes, it's actually done a really good job with its introduction of its first gravel bike, the Vault. The Vault was actually the bike that both Keegan Swinson and Rose Grant raced to victory at the Cedar City Belgium Waffle Ride. Like many gravel bikes, this bike has massive tire clearance and uses patent-pending Isoflex seat post technology. The Vault is available in 2 different color options and 3 different build options. The next brand on the list is Rocky Mountain Bikes out of Vancouver. In 1978, there was these two dudes working in a bike shop in Vancouver. They had these Nishiki road bikes. So they started doing some experimenting, and they were like putting flat bars on these bikes and wider tires. They wanted to create a bike that they could ride and race on the technical trails of the West Coast. They officially incorporated in 1981 with Grayson Bain, Jacob Hilborn, and Sam Mack as the three original founders. Working with legendary frame designer Tom Ritchie, the company introduced its first production mountain bike, the Sherpa, in 1982. Today, the company produces a number of mountain bikes as well as the Solo, which is their adventure bike. This bike offers massive tire clearance, the ability to run a full-length dropper post, and has a 1x drivetrain specific frame. The bike is offered in two different build options, including the Solo 30, which comes in black, and the Solo 50, which is offered in the black and blue color. The bikes can run either 700C or 650B wheels. The last bike on the list is formed by one of the earliest mountain bikers in Northern California, and that's Ibis Cycles, founded by Scott Nickel. The story goes, it basically all began in Nickel's garage in 1981 when a friend asked him to build a frame. In 2000, Nickel actually sold the company to an investment group, and it went bankrupt in 20 months. In 2005, Hans Heem, Scott Nickel, Tom Morgan, and Roxy Lowe all partnered together to relaunch the brand. Colin Hughes, the head of engineering, would eventually join later as a partner. In addition to their full suspension mountain bikes, the company also makes a gravel bike, the Haka MX. The Haka MX can take 700C and 27.5 wheels. So on the rear of the frame above the rear tire, you will see a mounted clenched fist. And they've actually dubbed this the hand job. And its job is essentially to clear mud off the rear tire. The Haka MX is available in 3 different color options, including white, coal, and fireball, and 2 build options. Like I've said before, I don't know everything there is to know about bikes. I like riding bikes, I like learning about bikes. But if you have questions, comment below and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Or if you just want to comment in general, leave a comment. I really appreciate you watching the videos. Oh, and if you do me a huge favor, do me a big solid here. Hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post these videos. And you guys have a great freaking day.